it. Uh,
Hello. We're a little late tonight because we had church.
yeah, we went to church and somehow I got to preach again today. So, anyways, I just read over something and, it was to the extent of it don't matter what you do or what you've done, or what you're still doing. It made it seem like, um, that you're all right if because there's a free gift, and that free gift is Jesus, and He's there for you no matter all the stupid things you did and the stupid things you're going to do, and in that there is some truth. There's just enough truth to, I guess, make you feel good about yourself, but there's also enough lie there to deceive.
Pretty bad.
And, you know, Paul wrote, and the gift of God was free at cost of nothing that we have to pay money wise, or we can't give anything back out of ourselves. We can't do any great deed. We can't. The cost is too much for us to ever repay. Um, the free gift that Paul speaks about just isn't just because it's free. It was paid for, um, and I think I think that's just a big lie that that the churches have used, and that many of preachers have used, that this is a free gift. You don't have to do nothing except for just uh, say you believe,
Mm-hmm.
and it feels good. It puts you in that feel good sense of I said I believe, and then it leaves you empty. Today I spoke out of Haggai, the prophet Haggai, and how he was going to, he was speaking from the Lord's, no, he was a prophet, and he was prophesying that what the Lord had said to him about building the temple, and how that their houses were full, but the temple was lying waste. And, this again is another thing that makes people lie waste in their own spiritual temple. Inside us, what is dwelling? And most people, I'd say a lot, are spiritually uh, lying waste, lying without anything in their temple. Um, it's just basically a shell. You're a shell walking around with no spirit living within. And this is very sad. And I say that to the ones that just believe that all you gotta say is just one little thing and you're good. And that's true. Jesus said, whoever confesses me, I will confess before my Father. And that's very true. But he goes into more, there's elaborated more. And, and I think that's one thing that gets us in trouble, is we all want to stay on that line of, I want to be saved. I don't want to go to hell.
Mm-hmm.
But, we don't want to dig in deeper and push across. Hey, I've got this far. Now I need to keep going. Because if you don't keep going, you're going to go back. I mean, it's one thing that happens through and through in the Bible. I mean, I know it seems like I say this about every week, but Israel kept going back to the old ways. They would get somewhere, God would have to punish them. They would come to him. They would be good for a little while, and then all of a sudden they would still. They grew still, and then they had to go back into the ways they were, and then it all just happened over and over and over again. And it just kept going on, and that's what happens in our own lives today.
Oh, yeah.
If we just say, "Oh, I'm saved," you know, we're going to be the ones sitting there in church, and every time the preacher says, "All right, everybody, whoever needs Jesus today or needs to be saved," and so many times it's like every time you go to church, oh, I'm praying again. Here I go again. I'm doing this all over and keep reciting these words. And basically, this is all they are now. They're just a bunch of words that you're saying, because at the end of that sentence or at the end of that amen, then you go off and you're back into the same exact thing you was before. Bible says it's like a dog returning to its vomit, like a hog that's returning to its mire, that nastiness, that's wallering. I was going to see something here real quick. Let's see. Luke chapter 14. Let's see. 25. I don't even know why I'm starting here. And there went great multitudes with him. And he turned and said unto them, If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. And whosoever doth not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. For which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first, and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it? I don't know, really. I know that we're not all supposed to be like the disciples right here in the word that Jesus is talking over. We're not all going to go out and go across the lands, um, if you want to call them mission trips. They used to call it discipleship back then, or apostles. But if you call it, evangelizing, I don't, we're not all supposed to be evangelists, but we are, in a way that, we've all got to be the disciples of Christ. There's, think about the ones that at this time was not his disciples. They was against him. I mean, right? I mean, if they wasn't for him, they was against him. And basically, he says you need to pick up your cross and bear it. Now, we've heard this a bunch. He's re-implying this here even more. And he says, And whosoever doth not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. If any man come to me and hate not his father, mother, and wife, children, brethren, and sisters, yea, and his own life, he cannot be my disciple. And not that he's saying we've got to hate the people that are in our life, but we have to want and desire Jesus more than the things of this world, to acquire a relationship and to grow in that. And I think that we need to not just, I don't know what that noise was. We don't need to just go on this terms of it's this free gift. It is a free gift, meaning that we have nothing that we can repay it with. We could never repay it enough. If we work every day of every single week, we could never pay it off. The price was already paid, and it was such a. I mean, it says we was bought with basically priceless. We was bought with this huge price, and it was Jesus's life, and um, we should have the desire. You know, the same thing is if I think the thing is if somebody comes to us and let's say they give us a gift, you know, in our hearts we would probably desire to give them something back or something for it, or you know, if you're a decent person, you're gonna want to, you know, do something for that person. Maybe you don't have money. Maybe you don't have um, a lot of time. You're going to try and do something. If you're a decent person, if you have love in your life, you're going to try and do something for that person. Jesus gave this us the ultimate gift, and our out of our humbleness and gratitude, we should try to give back as much as we possibly can. And that's why I say that it's not a free gift. We should want and have the desire to give back. Um, you know, and I think it's just I think the devil's used us a lot by just when Angie was talking earlier, and it was basically as if the devil had wrote this message up that I read, and I'll read a little bit of it right now. I'm not gonna read it word for word, but I'll just read a little bit of this and see if you can see if it looks like something that the devil would said to Adam and Eve. I could see it going really well with Adam and Eve, but it says if you end up burning in hell for all eternity, it won't be because you have a tattoo or because you have nose ring or because you drink beer or smoke cigarettes or because you spent time in prison. It won't be because you didn't do enough good deeds. It won't be because you didn't belong to the right church. It won't be because of the dumb thing you did that you don't want anybody to know about. It won't be because of what anyone else did to you. It will be because you refused to receive Jesus Christ, God the Son, as your personal Savior. And then, of course, it goes into He already died and paid that free. They give you the free gift. It goes into that, um, and it was up to us to earn it. Or if it, let's face it, it was not up to us to earn it. We would have no chance. Very true. Some of that's true. Um, you know, we was talking and no, you're not gonna burn in hell for uh, getting a tattoo, or maybe because you've got a nose ring, or because of whatever kind of excuses these things are. These things are minute that they don't really specifically point out in the Bible, and so I could see the devil using this as like a just kind of scheming, saying, "Hey, uh, you won't do nothing's gonna happen to you if you get this tattoo. Nothing's gonna happen to you if you drink this beer. Nothing's gonna happen to you if you smoke these cigarettes. No, you're gonna be
Don't worry about
fine.
it. Jesus
Yeah,
already
yeah.
died for you.
He already died for you. You're good." And which very true. There's some truth in that, but there's also some lies in that you have to address. And the lies are, what is this going to allow into my body? Okay. Uh, why am I getting a tattoo, first of all? Why am I getting my nose pierced? Why am I drinking? Why am I smoking? Why am I doing something that I'm afraid to tell my friends about? Yeah, maybe these things are some things real small. But why?
Mhm.
And
what's it gonna lead
what
to?
is that? Yeah, what is that going to lead into? And you know, Eve, when she was standing there before this uh, magnificent fruit tree or fruit bush, whatever it was, uh, she was looking with lust at this plant, at this fruit that God had told her to not.
Stay away.
Yeah, stay away from this thing. And that's where it all starts. It starts with a lust within us, and this lust, the devil's like, oh, just touch, just try, um, and always in it, the devil always throws it out. You won't die. You're
You'll be
not.
fine.
You'll be fine. Trust me. And that is what this message sounded like so much. It really scares me to see what's going on in the world. I mean, who's preaching this stuff? You know, this is craziness.
Yeah.
No, don't worry. Yeah, that stuff that don't matter. Um, it does. And how much more stuff are you gonna let in just by doing one thing? You know, not saying that it's gonna, uh, this one thing you do is gonna send you straight to hell. Uh, but uh, what else? What else is it that's gonna tick away on you? And that's just one of the devil's ways of saying, hey, try this. This is, you're good. You're good here. You still got this free gift over here. And, you know, and that's something that basically right there, then it says, I don't owe anything for this gift. It's free. I can't even do anything of myself to earn it. But when somebody gives you something, don't you feel like, man, I would like to at least have the feeling like, hey, I'd like to at least try to give something back to this person. Maybe I can't, but I would love to try. Hey, what about a thank you? Isn't that great?
Feel of
You know,
appreciation.
something. But in this, it's like there's no thank you. There's no, you get this free gift and all you got to do is say, I accept. And I think that it's just been brought to such a lie that so many people are uh, like Haggai at that time that is building the temple, and God says all these things you eat, but you're not full. You drink, but you're not full. You know
You're still thirsty.
you're still thirsty. You planted seed, but it wasn't enough. You put money in a bag, but the bag has a hole in it, and I can't quote it, but basically everything. And he wasn't specifically speaking about having all these things. He was talking about they had everything they thought they needed, but they needed more. They needed God. And then it goes into, hey, you've got this, you've got your house, but you don't have me in my house, in the temple. And I think that's a lot of what happens when we just say we believe. Then we let room for uh, non-filling to come in. You know, something else is going to fill that void, and most of the time, uh, if we're not spending time with the Lord and doing the Lord's work, then other things will come in. Go ahead.
Oh, do you want me to read that in Haggai?
Yeah.
So it's Haggai chapter 1, it starts in verse 6. It says, Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes.
Yep.
Or I guess that's just verse 6.
Yep.
So
Yeah, that pretty well sums up what you'll be if you just stick with the free gift kind of living.
hmm
You know, uh, you'll never be filled. You won't have peace. You won't have comfort. Um, and you know, Jesus says the ones that love Him will do His commandments, will seek Him, will want and strive to do uh, righteous and be right. And you know, it doesn't say you got this free gift. He didn't say you just go out and do whatever you want to. And even Paul wrote about that. He says, uh, they said, shall we keep sinning? And he said, God forbid. Why would you do that? You've got this gift, yeah, but don't keep sinning. You know, so uh, you know, it was hard. Paul uh, had a uh, talk about somebody that had a price to pay back, that paid a bunch, is all the times that and all the things he did and all the times that he was arrested and took to prison and had all kinds of trouble just for going and doing what the Lord had told him to do. I mean, uh, think about the price that he paid to what we now read and have as the majority of the New Testament of our Bible. Uh, he had to pay an awful cost. And yeah, I mean a ton. So uh, I think that it was, you know, too, that Paul fought so hard against Christ and against Christians. And then once he was saved, once he did get that free gift, he desired to give as much as he could back. And, and that should be each one of our desires. I mean, no more than if a family member gets us something for our just you know anything you know new whatever it is, you know we should feel obligated to give back. You know, I mean, I guess it's kind of like the pay it forward deal, you know, they had for years. You know, somebody go in front of you and pay for your lunch, and they said they paid it forward, you know, and you hopefully feel obligated, you know, after somebody has done this for you, you feel like, well, I would love to give back. You know, maybe you didn't, but you have at least thought, hey, boy, I'd like to do this. This was awesome. You know, this makes me feel good. I would love to give back to the cause. You know, and that should be the way it should be with Jesus. Hey, I feel great, but we get the free gift version, and it's like, oh, I feel good, and then you
See you
just
next week.
yeah, let it die. You know, well, I rode that free gift as long as I could, but you know, if you don't give back, if you don't ever show an interest in wanting and desiring to give back a little bit, you know, and that's not just giving back through deeds, you know, lest any man should boast, it says, but we know that there has to be a certain amount of works too. It's not all about works, no, but but you have to have works.
It follows.
Yeah, the works should follow, you know, us and being saved. So, anything else?
No, I think we pretty much just everything that we had gone over earlier.
Yeah. Um.
Just remember, you know, what was it? Straight is the way and narrow.
The path. Yep. That leads to life everlasting, basically. Everlasting life, and broad is the way, and wide is the gate that leads to destruction. You know, there's a broad road in that, which I read over just a little while ago. There's a broad road in that says you can do all these things, but you've got this free gift, and you do have a free gift. It's your choice to accept and to strive to receive and give back, or it's your choice to accept the gift and never do anything with it. If you don't do anything, this is the deal. Let's just say I like hunting and stuff, and let's say I get this knife, and Andrew gives me a knife. I get a knife, and it's a free gift to me. I didn't pay for it. She paid for it. She paid the ultimate price on this knife. She gives it to me. I get this knife, and I put it in a case and leave it there. Now, it's my gift. It's free. I'm not doing nothing with that knife, though. It's not doing anything. It's not cutting any meat. It's not doing nothing. It's just sitting over there in a box, out of the way. And is it gonna profit me anything? Is it gonna, am I going to excel? Maybe it was a really good knife. Maybe it was the best knife for skinning animals. You know, I mean, the gift of Christ is the best. But if I sit it in a box somewhere, I'll probably eventually just forget about it and go on, and I'll use my old knife. And that's the same thing with Christ. If we just put him over in a box somewhere, even though it's that free gift, I've got that salvation, but I'm going to just stick it over in the side. We're going to go back to whatever was before. And that's the same way with any kind of gift. You see kids at Christmas time get brand new gifts, and then the next day or two, while they're playing with something from 10 years ago, you know, they get a gift, and it's awesome for a second, but then it loses its value because they don't keep it. You know, if you keep that knife beside you the whole time, if I get a sheath and I put that thing on my hip every day and I wear it and I make sure it's sharp, I keep it sharp, I keep it, you know, I use it, I work, you know, with it, then you're gonna build a relationship with this knife that you're gonna love this. It's gonna be like, hey, every day I get up for work in the morning, I put this knife in my pocket or on my side or whatever you do with it. You will not only will you will want this knife, you'll desire to have it every single day. You'll want that in your life. That knife, you'll be like, hey, I gotta get my knife this morning. And if it's out of place, you're gonna want to seek and find this knife. And that's the same way. That's the same way Christ should be with us every single day. We should excel to, hey, I need to start my day off with Christ. I need to keep going. Anyways, I'll leave you alone.
So I just wanted to add one little thing.
Here we go.
So, there's a lot of like really good, you know, posts that we see. But I just want to encourage everyone to pray about it before you forward or you post something yourself. Because if there's just a small little bit that's like within you saying, no, that's not right. Pray about it and seek it, and try to figure out what it is, because ultimately, even if it's just a Facebook or an Instagram or whatever the social media thing is, even if it's just a post on that, we are going to be held accountable one day for any false information that we that we give to
Yeah,
other
yeah,
other
and you
people.
don't want to be the one that has to say, "Hey, I led this person astray. I made them feel.
I told them they
I
were all right.
I told them a feel good story,
Yeah.
and uh, yeah, we
There's
want to be honest.
there's always, I mean, if there's just a small little, I mean, there could be so much truth to something that you have, but there's the Holy Spirit within us. If there's one little thing that's wrong, he's gonna like nudge, he's gonna poke, and it's up to us to dig into it and figure out what it is. Like one time, a friend asked me a question. I can't even remember what it was years ago, and I just spat it off what I was taught. Like it was, I can't even remember the question, but
Hmm.
it was just one of those questions that had just like a repetitive answer. I heard it before. And as I spoke it, I thought, is that right? And so I literally had to go back and I had to read. And I mean, it took me days to actually figure out, whoa, there was some truth to that, but this is actually really wrong. And so I had to repent. And then I had to go up to her and say, hey, listen, I'm sorry, but I was completely wrong. And so if you're going to, which if I encourage you guys to encourage other people, just make sure that that we're encouraging people the right way. So
Yeah, yeah. And you know,
pray, 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 pray.
it's so easy. These things on social media are so easy just to post, and maybe somebody's posted that same post that's on here tonight, or gonna see this video, and because I bet there's a bunch of people that posted. Um, you know, not saying that Jesus uh, didn't pay that price. He did. Not saying that all these things uh, are going to send you to hell. They might not. I'm just saying that this is a way, we're trying to say that that's a way that the devil can enter in. And like Angie was saying, we need to be aware of who we're telling things like that to. Because somebody might be struggling with something so bad, but yet they believe they're okay just because of, oh, I've got this free gift. I've got something, don't deceive others.
Mhm.
We need to seek not to deceive others in the
Mhm.
world, and that starts with being aware of what we're saying and what we're doing. Um, you know, with with all the things that you see in the world, with all the things that's been going on, it's so easy to be deceived right now. And I don't know. I see all kinds of stuff that just make me cringe when I see what's going on within churches right now, and what preachers are saying, what events they're holding. Go ahead.
No,
Oh yeah,
just
I
like
mean it's really it's uh, it's bad because there's a whole bunch of people that are being deceived right now. A bunch of people that go to many churches all over this nation that are they're being they're just be showing a kind of a false way of living, a false hope. Um, so so watch what you say to others. Watch how you speak, and what you post on social media. Yeah, that's a big one. Just, um, yeah, I don't know what else.
that's it. Hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it was good. It's been cold.
We smoked a turkey this year and it was really delicious.
It was
So
good.
if you've never had a smoked turkey before,
Yeah,
You
Smoke
gotta
a
try
turkey.
it.
But yeah, and with everything coming up, uh, Christmas time, whether you celebrate it or whether you don't, um, uh, I would say, you know, look at the world around us right now. I think honestly we need to be watching uh, what's going on in the world very close. Not so close that we're not paying attention to God, but looking at what is going on. Uh, I thought about doing some more videos on here throughout the week, just kind of about different things, but more so uh, not necessarily just worldly things, but focused upon what's going on in the world today, uh, because so many people don't keep up with what's going on in the world and what's going on across the nations. And
Kind of guilty of
it's very, I mean, it is real bad what's going on. Think about what has been voted on in the last year or in the last month, and all over these states that have just legalized marijuana laws all over the place. And how that's going to affect our states
in the long
around
run.
us. Yeah, I mean it's something that has already affected many, many states. I mean, it made Colorado go from a beautiful state to a place that I could care less to ever go back to.
And the residents in Colorado even
Don't like it.
don't like it anymore.
Yeah, it was something. Yeah, it's really crazy. But this is no good for our land. But we know the hour we're in, and it keeps getting worse. And well, I guess we gotta be there for each other. But anyways, I'll just end on that note. We'll see.
All right. Bless you guys.
Have a good one.